There's a bearish SMT divergence on these indexes right now because NASDAQ made a lower high while the S&P 500 made a higher high. So I'm able to say I have a bearish bias today because there's a bearish high time frame SMT divergence. The NASDAQ is telling me that the S&P 500 is going to go lower. Okay, and not only is the NASDAQ saying that the S&P 500 is going to go lower, but the NASDAQ, because it's making a lower high, is also confirming that, hey, the trend is no longer in our favor and we're going to reverse. So it's not only us signaling about the lagging index saying that, hey, the lagging index is going to go lower, it's also showing us that, hey, the leading index is also going lower, okay? So again, when we see this high and then a lower high, and then on the S&P 500, we have the same high and then a higher high, awesome. What can that give me the ability to do with my bias for that day? I can have a bearish bias. Let's show an example on the low time frames of how we can use this for an entry. But look here, we have a high time frame high or low-ish time frame high. We have an hourly high right here. Market opens, NASDAQ, what do we see NASDAQ do? We're in an uptrend, right? We break structure to the upside right here. Price comes up. We make a high, higher low, higher high, whatever. NASDAQ comes up, pushes past this high right here. But if we look at the S&P 500, oh, the same high that NASDAQ pushed past, the S&P 500 was unable to push past it. So what is the S&P 500 telling to the NASDAQ? Because the NASDAQ, this chart can look pretty scary, right? We break structure to the upside, we come up, we push past this high. Who knows if we're going to push higher? We could want to target these highs, right? But with the use of an SMT divergence, when we see the S&P 500 making a lower high underneath this high, the S&P 500 is telling us, hey, we are going to reverse. So in this case, what is this? This is a bearish SMT divergence. On NASDAQ, we have a high, then a higher high, but on the S&P 500, we have a high, then a lower high. What immediately follows this SMT divergence? Price coming down and then taking out this draw on liquidity right here.